Sarwar, should the Prime Minister resign, or do you still have confidence in it?
Look, I'm utterly disgusted and furious by the entire situation. Peter Mandelson should never even been considered to be the ambassador to the US. He never should have been the ambassador to the US. It's right he's not a member of the Labour Party and he should be stripped of all his titles. And it's right he is now investigated by the police. We need full transparency on the process of that decision. I know that's what the Parliament voted for yesterday at Westminster, because people across the country are rightfully angry and they're furious about this.
So the Prime Minister got it wrong?
Well, clearly it was a mistake to appoint him as the ambassador, clearly a mistake to even consider him to be capable of being the ambassador to the US. It's right he's not in the Labour Party and he should be stripped of his titles.
So you're questioning the Prime Minister's judgment then?
Well, we need full transparency. We need full transparency. Look, what we need is full transparency and answers.
Well, but can he stay in his job? How long can he stay in his job, do you think?
But we need answers. We need answers and full transparency, because people across the country are rightly furious, disgusted, and find this entire situation unacceptable.
Do you think he even lasts until the election in May?
Well, look, we need full transparency and answers.
But do you think he lasts until May?
Yes, but we need full transparency and answers, because people will be absolutely furious. Peter Mandelson has betrayed his country. He has betrayed the victims of Jeffrey Epstein. He's betrayed this country. He's betrayed the party he once belonged to, and he should feel the full force of the law, and that's why it's right we have
But should the Prime Minister have seen that it was a stupid idea to appoint Peter Mandelson in the first place, given what was known at that time?
Well, that's why we need full transparency of the process of that decision-making, because it is abundantly clear that Peter Mandelson was not fit to be ambassador to the US. He should not have even been considered for the job. It's right he's not a member of the Labour Party. He should be stripped of his titles, and it's right he's now investigated by the police. It's an utter disgrace, and he is a shame to our nation.
You defended that.
I don't know the situation or the process of the conversations, so I'm not in a position to answer.
You defended the appointment last year.
The Prime Minister has been shown to have demonstrated the most appalling lack of judgment in the appointment of Peter Mandelson as the UK's ambassador to the United States. The Prime Minister knew that Peter Mandelson was connected to Jeffrey Epstein. He told the House of Commons that at the time that he took the decision to make this appointment. And I think that should have been a red flag to everybody, but it obviously wasn't a red flag to the Prime Minister. So I think this demonstrates a most shocking and appalling poor judgment by the Prime Minister. And as a consequence of that, I think the reputation of the Labour government is in tatters. I think the Prime Minister is under enormous pressure because he has quite clearly, actually by his own admission, demonstrated incredibly poor judgment in the appointment of Peter Mandelson, because he knew enough at the time of the appointment of the connection between Jeffrey Epstein and Peter Mandelson to have indicated he should never have made that appointment. And the fact that we now know that Peter Mandelson had in the past been sharing sensitive government information with Jeffrey Epstein, even if the Prime Minister didn't know that, he should have known that there was a connection that was unacceptable, should never have been allowed to prevail, and he should never have made the appointment of Peter Mandelson. So it's an appalling lack of judgment by the Prime Minister.
What do you think should be his next step?
The Prime Minister has obviously committed to setting out all of the information in relation to the scrutiny of the appointment of Peter Mandelson. That has got to be an urgent and immediate priority. But I think the issue that will haunt the Prime Minister is his appalling lack of judgment in selecting Peter Mandelson to be the United Kingdom's ambassador to the United States, and the damage that that has done to the reputation of the Labour government.
The victims of Epstein have lived with trauma that most of us can barely comprehend. And they've had to relive it again and again. They have seen accountability delayed and too often denied. To them, I want to say this. I am sorry. Sorry for what was done to you. Sorry that so many people with power failed you. Sorry for having believed Mandelson's lies and appointed him. And sorry that even now you're forced to watch this story unfold in public once again. And in recent days, serious allegations and serious evidence has emerged concerning Mandelson's conduct, including his relationship with Epstein, a convicted sex offender. It had been publicly known for some time that Mandelson knew Epstein, but none of us knew the depth and the darkness of that relationship. What has come to light has raised serious questions. Information that was not known at the time of his appointment. Before he was appointed ambassador, Mandelson was asked directly about the nature of his relationship with Epstein. He was asked whether he had stayed at Epstein after his conviction. And when, later, further information came to light, he was asked whether he had accepted gifts and hospitality, about whether he had been fully transparent about the relationship. The information now available makes clear that the answers he gave were lies. He portrayed Epstein as someone he barely knew. And when that became clear, and it was not true, I sacked him. Such deceit is incompatible with public service. Let me be clear, no one is above accountability. And no one, however well connected, however experienced, however senior, should hold public office if they cannot meet the basic test of honesty. I also want to address the publication of the information Mandelson provided during the appointment process. I understand the strength of public feeling. I share the anger that people feel when powerful individuals appear to escape scrutiny. And I want to be able to release those documents as quickly as possible. I wanted to release them yesterday, in fact, and to talk about them at Prime Minister's questions. But the police have advised that releasing certain information now could risk prejudicing a future investigation or legal process. And however frustrating from my personal point of view that is, and it is, I will not take any step, however politically tempting, however popular, that risks justice for victims. Because this is not and must never become a political game.